Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Millennial Wealth Building channel. In today's video, I will be discussing credit cards for college students, and really should college students really worry about getting a credit card at this moment. As you saw, I just made my breakfast. It's an amazing smoothie. Crap, I just remembered I forgot an ingredient. So I'm going to add my ingredient and then I'm going to have my smoothie. So make sure that you join me afterwards. Hey everyone, so breakfast was absolutely delicious, healthy, and satisfying. Believe it or not, breakfast has a correlation with your credit cards because this is going to be your first credit card, and breakfast is the most important meal of the day. It's the first meal of the day, and you want to be sure that you're starting off with something healthy. The same thing with your very first credit card. You want to make sure that you understand what you are doing and that you are going for a credit card that is well suited for you, because since this is your first credit card, this credit card has the potential to be the credit card on your credit report with the longest history. And with that, you definitely want to get it right so you aren't closing out that account 3, 4, 5 years into the future. So come on along this journey with me and let's continue through to the rest of this video. And I don't know why I did my hand like that because I am not switching scenes right now. So guys, you know what time it is, right? It's time for you to go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to drop a comment down below. Now let's get back to the rest of this video. All right, so back to the first topic, I guess. I'll talk a little bit about myself. So with my experience, once upon a time, I was a college student. I didn't know where to start, and in fact, I didn't think a credit card was needed to build credit history. Honestly, I thought that paying my internet bill, paying my telephone bill, my car insurance were all enough to build credit history because after all, I am paying bills every single month and I'm not showing a lapse in payment or a lapse in any of those accounts. So I thought, erroneously, that this would have been enough. What helped to drive me to this decision was that I heard negative experiences from family members who had credit cards. They said that credit cards were bad. Don't get a credit card because it's a trap. However, that was the worst advice that I could receive, especially since credit cards are the main thing that helps to build credit history because it gives you access to that all important revolving credit. So I thought credit cards were bad, so I had a distaste for credit cards until one day my sister told me that you need to consider getting a credit card because one day you are going to need access to credit, i.e. a loan. And if you don't have a good credit history, how are you going to qualify for a loan? You won't qualify because no credit is pretty much the same as bad credit, which is what she told me. No, I didn't thank her for her advice because, again, nobody wants to be told what they need to do or what they should consider doing, especially a very mature 18-year-old college student.
Tell me what to do.
But she was absolutely right. And since I realized that she was right, I didn't thank her, so psst, if you're watching this video, thank you. Alright, so I didn't thank her, but I absolutely acted upon her advice. But I went about it the wrong way. And this is why I'm creating this video, so that those of you out there, you can know the credit cards that are out there and geared towards you as your very first credit card, and especially if you are a student. I'm going to rank from the ones that I think are the absolute best to the ones that are okay and something that you just want to have to build credit, but be very careful. What I did, my mistake, I went to a bank and I had a bank account with these banks, and I went and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go and sign up and get a credit card. But I had two negative things going for me. Of course, I was a college student, and what does that mean? I was a broke college student. I didn't have money. I was working a very entry-level job, and I wasn't working full-time. It was part-time. Basically, all of my money went to putting gas in my car and any little simple repairs that I had to make. So I went to the bank, filled out an application, and the personal banker says to me, do you have access to any more income? At that point, I already knew that I was going to be denied. And in fact, he told me straight up, It's highly unlikely that your application will be accepted. When you do start to make more money or you have more income, please feel free to come back and apply for a credit card. Well, in a few days, I did get my rejection letter in the mail. And then I decided, okay, well, they rejected me. Let's go to another bank branch. So before going there, I went online, I researched, and I found out that I would not qualify. So with that, let's get straight into what are the best credit cards out there and what are your options when it comes to building credit so you don't make the mistake that I made, because every application you put out there, it's going to go onto your credit report and it's going to be there for 2 years whew, as a hard inquiry. Haha, you all thought I forgot to mention the two negative things. That was four fingers. The two negative things going for me, and that was I had no disposable income and I didn't really have any credit history. I had like 3 months of an account that just happened by chance with a student loan that was closed out because I got scholarships, whatever. No details on that. But that's all I had going for me, and those were two major negative things. No credit history, no disposable income equals being denied by a major bank institution that's not asking for my business. There we go. Now on to the rest of the video. Alright guys, so let's dive straight into it. The very first card on this list happens to be my favorite card on the entire list. This credit card is the Discover It Student Cashback credit card. This is an amazing card. It basically has no strings attached, which is absolutely amazing. So to kick it off, number one, first of all, there is no annual fee. I love a credit card without an annual fee because you don't feel obligated to having to use this credit card. I will come back into that a little bit more when I go into my second recommendation. Secondly, what I like about this card is they are offering students a way to get cash for absolutely free, no strings attached. The only thing you have to do is achieve a GPA of 3.0 or higher, and every year that you do that, you will get $20 as a statement credit. Now, $20 isn't a lot of money, but again, it's free cash. And if you're doing this anyway and getting a GPA above 3.0, that means that this is absolutely free money to you. It's again $20 for 5 years, that's up to $100. It's small, but it's something. And continuing on with the theme of free cash, again, Discover gives you access to their 5% rolling calendar. So every quarter, there are different categories that qualify for 5% cashback. And I believe it's up to $1,500 in purchases. I will double check and put it up above if I am incorrect on my amount. But either there will be categories with gas, categories with grocery stores, categories with restaurants, and I believe categories with home improvement stores that Discover has on their rolling quarterly 5% cashback calendar. Now, for purchases that you are making outside of the 5% cashback calendar, every purchase will get 1% cash back. That is great. Not only are you getting free cash, you're also qualified to get cash back, especially that 5% cash back. So definitely take advantage of that. And if that wasn't enough of a perk to convince you to apply for Discover and show you how much they really want you, they are going to match all of the cash back that you get during your first year. So at the end of your first year, whatever amount of cash back that you have sitting in your account, they are going to match that 100%, no questions asked. So Discover is throwing a lot of free money at you to get you to sign up with them and begin to build a credit history with their company. This card is targeted to people who are new to credit or have fair credit. So definitely, if you are a college student, this is the card for you, and I cannot recommend it high enough. All right, guys, the second card on this list is the Capital One Quicksilver One credit card. This credit card, I don't like it too much, mainly because it does have an annual fee, and I personally do not like credit cards with an annual fee because I feel like I absolutely have to use this card for it to be a benefit to me. Granted, it's really easy with credit cards out there that do have an annual fee based on your spending habits. It can be really easy for you to cover that, but for me, I don't want to feel like I absolutely have to use this credit card, which inherently you do have to use your credit cards. But anyway, back to the point. So this credit card is, again, an entry-level credit card for anyone looking to really build credit. So if you don't really have an established credit history, this could be the credit card for you. But beware, there is an annual fee. It is $39 per year. And again, that's a small amount, and it's easy for you to earn that money back or have the card pay for itself because you do have access to an unlimited 1.5% cash back on all purchases. Another thing that you should know about this card is that there is a really high variable interest rate. The variable interest rate is 26.99%. So be very careful. Make sure that you are tracking everything that you are spending on this card and do not carry a balance from month to month. You shouldn't do that with any credit card, but especially one with such a high interest rate as this credit card. So if this credit card has such a high interest rate, why am I recommending it? Well, I'm recommending it because you do have access to it. Your options are pretty limited, but if you're not going to carry a balance, this will help you to establish a credit history, and it's very important to establish a credit history. Plus, Capital One is a respected credit card company, or one with, that is, I should say, very well known. Okay, everyone, and the third card that makes it onto this list is the Apple credit card. Now, with this credit card, I'm going to say be a little careful about it. I'm mentioning it mainly because it is a popular card, and I think it's definitely worth it for me to cover it because this card seems to really be targeted more towards millennials, and that's mainly because of the categories I received, the 3% cashback that they are offering. So with this credit card, the first thing you need to know is that Apple is still working with reporting to the credit bureaus, the major credit bureaus. Right now, they're only reporting to TransUnion, so you do not get any credit history established on Experian or Equifax. So just be mindful of that, and that does make a huge difference in your credit profile. Another thing, with the quick research that I did looking through to see if this was actually true, something that I stumbled upon is that the amount of times that Apple is reporting or updating the credit that they are reporting isn't quite consistent yet. Now, it may change as of the recording of this video, but I did find that people are saying that they had a high balance on their credit card, and right now it's hurting them because Apple hasn't reported again since they've paid it down. So again, just be mindful of that. I am definitely not recommending this card as a first credit card for you. Think about it as a secondary or even a third card before you go ahead and apply to this card. But one thing that I do like about the Apple credit card is that everything is so simple. Their website is simple. I'm going to show a screenshot of it right now. They're really talking no hidden fees, no transaction fees, nothing hidden, just simple. Now onto the categories that they offer cash back on. So they're giving you 3% cash back on all Apple purchases, Uber Eats, and that's the reason why I said it seems to be geared more towards millennial, especially when they're offering cash back on technology-based companies like Uber and Uber Eats. And then there's also Walgreens and T-Mobile. I find T-Mobile to be a little odd, but hey, it's in there. And if you're a T-Mobile customer, you can take advantage of that 3% cash back. Now, you can get 2% cash back if you use this card on all other purchases in combination with using Apple Pay. That's the cash that you have to do. You have to use Apple Pay. And as we know, every retailer does not accept Apple Pay at this moment. And don't worry, if that retailer does not accept Apple Pay at this moment, you will qualify for a 1% cash back on all other purchases. But again, I cannot recommend this card right now, especially as your first credit card, but I will recommend it as a secondary, or even more comfortable with it being your maybe your third credit card in the future. So I just wanted to cover it because I know it's a card out there that's pretty popular with millennials and college students at this time. Give Apple a little more time. Let them work out all of the little quirks that they need to work out with the credit reporting agencies so that you are able to maximize your credit history and ensure that everything that you're doing is going to be reflected accurately and updated in a timely manner on your credit report. All right, guys, now the final credit card on my list is an offering from Capital One once again. And the real reason why I selected to choose this card is because this one is an offering that's a Visa credit card. Now, this credit card is the student, or I should say the Journey student credit card from Capital One. So this card is definitely marketed at students. The benefits that you're going to be offered on this card is really 1% cash back on all purchases. Now, that's not a lot, and Capital One knows this. So, they give you an opportunity to gain 25% more on your cash back if you make that payment on time. So, basically, you'll get 1.25% every time, cash back, every time you pay your statement on time. Now, other perks with this credit card are there are no hidden fees, well, no transaction fees, no foreign fees, no annual fees. So those are all good. And especially since it's only 1% cash back with a maximum of a 1.25% cash back, it's important not to have those annual fees. And then there comes the high interest rate, of course. It's Capital One, and there's the theme. Again, you're new to credit, you're just building credit, first credit card. They're going to hit you with a whopping variable interest fee rate of 26.99%. As I share with the Quicksilver One card, your point is to really build credit and not carry a balance. So again, be very careful with this card and make sure that you're keeping track of all of your purchases so that you don't end up paying that very high 26.99% interest rate. The final benefit with the Capital One Student Journey Card is that after making 5 months of payments on time, you do have the opportunity to increase your credit limit. So again, Capital One is really trying to help you to establish good credit history. So you should have no problem with avoiding that 26.99% interest rate if you pay it in full every single time and don't carry a balance. But again, I think that's a really good offering to offer to give you a chance to increase your credit limit once you make 5 on-time credit payments. But that sums it up. That's the Capital One Journey Student Credit Card. Why do I have trouble remembering that name? Jeez, the Capital One Journey Student Credit Card. Okay, I'm done. Done. All right, guys, that sums it up. Those are the top 4 credit cards that I have on my list, with Apple really being the one at the bottom of the list simply because they do have some issues to work out. And they may work it out by the time I post this video, so definitely keep up with your research. But guys, again, as students, as college students, it's very important to start building your credit and to understand that there are credit cards out there for you. We all have been through it, at least a lot of us have been through it through the college student life, and not having disposable income and wondering how are we going to build credit if we don't have the income to show to qualify for credit cards. There are credit card companies out there that understand it, and they do have credit cards just for you. And I know for a fact that Discover works very well with students, but again, you have to show your responsibility and you have to be very responsible with your credit card. Discover may start you with a $500 or $1,000 credit limit. It all depends on what your specific situation with. They may even offer you a little bit more. But personally, the Discover credit card, to me, compared to all of the other credit cards that I presented in this video, offers you the most bang for your buck. Again, the most bang for your buck. So go ahead, check out that Discover It student, what is it? Discover It student cashback card. Too many credit cards in my mind. Again, thank you guys for watching. If I missed a card that you all like, something that I don't know about, go ahead, drop a comment below. Let me know another video that you would like to see me do, and just share your thoughts on this video. Thanks again. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also hit that notification bell so you can be notified when I post another video. Thanks, guys.